Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Bi-Weekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
morning. It is 10 o'clock and it's on Tuesday, September 16th, and this is the meeting of the Exeter 250 Celebration Commission. And let's start with some introductions. I'm Karen Pryor. I'm serving as the chair of the committee.
I'm Françoise Elise, or Fran, and I'm the chair of the Exeter Heritage Commission.
Good morning, I'm Catherine Minen, and I'm new at the American Independence Museum as the Education and Events Manager.
And welcome as our special guest today. We're glad to have you, and Ian is very fortunate to have you as well.
Joe Pace, Executive Director at the Independence Museum, and I appreciate you allowing me to bring Catherine today. I think it's important that she sees the work that's going on here, as she will be assuming a lot of the operational responsibilities for festivals for next year amongst our other events that are ongoing. So this is the drinking from the fire hose opportunity for Catherine. So thank you for being gentle.
Jonathan Ring, member at large.
Susan Drinker, also member at large. Barbara Rumkunis, Exeter Historical Society.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you. And first order of business is to review the minutes from our last meeting of September 2nd. We will miss you, Françoise, but Barbara, thank you so much for stepping up and joining us. And Julie Gilman, welcome. Welcome. We're glad to have you. So anyone have any thoughts, comments?
I did them and I spelled your name incorrectly. You are Karen Pryor, not Caden Pryor. Sorry about that. I also forgot to add myself on the for attendance there. So please add Barbara Rumkunis to those present.
And unless someone else would like to step up and co-chair with me, unfortunately, I am in that role these days. So can we change it from co-chair to chair? Unless, Barbara, you would like to co-chair with me.
Okay.
We don't have another co-chair. Would you like anyone?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Dropped out. Okay.
Any other thoughts or comments that folks might have? If not, can we entertain a motion to accept the minutes as edited?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Okay. Next order of business was the timeline of events and budgets. I was hoping Melissa would join us today and Caroline, and without them, it's going to be a little challenging for us to talk about the budget.
Did Melissa tell you that she can come?
No.
Oh.
That would be great. Thank you. So what I will move on to, though, with about budget is I think everyone remembers at last time we had talked about how this committee can accept gifts. And Corey Stevens, what is Corey's exact title?
Finance Director,
Yes, okay.
I believe.
Wrote to us, and if anyone minds, I would just like to read it verbatim, how he will prep in advance of accepting donations for the 250th. I think that's the easiest way. And then, Françoise, I'm happy to give you this document so that you can pull from it if you would like. Okay. So, bear with me. When the select board accepts cash donations, finance is required to remit the funds to the trustees of trust funds until such time as the funds are to be used according to the donor's stated purpose. Does that make sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In order to simplify requesting the funds from the trustees at a later date, I encourage committees to come up with a single common purpose for which they will be accepting donations for their project. For the 250th celebration, perhaps that purpose could be for, quote, for the purpose of planning, organizing, and holding all events and activities related to the town's 250th celebration. And I'll come back to that and repeat it. Then the committee just needs to make sure that all donations they take in for the celebration include this statement as the donor's stated purpose. Why is this important? Once funds are turned over to the trustees, it becomes their job to ensure that any request for use of such funds meet the donor's stated purposes or intentions. If we aren't specific about the donor's purpose when we remit funds to the trustees, it can make it harder to withdraw those funds when the time comes. Also, if donations are made having various intentions, we and the trustees have to track how we, meaning finance, And the trustees have to track how each donor intended for us to use their contributions. So in other words, we don't want to let it get watered down or not specific. This is why I encourage having just one common broad purpose for donated funds. So if the 250th committee can come up with a common broad purpose for which to accept donations for the 250th, it will help simplify the administrative process for the committee, my office, and the trustees. I can review the purpose statement once you have it. Any questions on what I've read?
Can you read the purpose again?
Yes. What I would like to do is read this purpose again. We can talk about it, edit it accordingly, and then approve something today so we can get that piece in place. Does that seem reasonable? And many thanks to Corey for putting this effort into this for us. The purpose could be, quote, for the purpose of planning, organizing, and holding all events and activities related to the town's 250th celebration.
I might suggest an amendment to that to say, for the purpose of supporting the planning, organizing, and holding of events. Because as it currently reads, it says,
For the purpose of planning, organizing, and holding all events.
Right. It's not for that purpose. It's not all events. There are events that it's not going to.
So you're saying remove the word all?
I'm saying in support of. Because it could be read to say that only the funds that are brought in can be used for that purpose.
So help me, for the purpose of planning, organizing, and supporting?
I would say for the purpose of supporting the planning, organizing, and execution of events, omitting the word all, relating to the 250 Commission.
Okay.
And it's a suggestion that we can talk, it's just from a legalistic standpoint, just having been in these,
Okay.
it kind of words can matter a little bit.
So the purpose of supporting the planning, organizing, and execution of all events and activities related to the town's 250th
And
celebration.
I would take out the word all.
Oh, got it. Events.
Yeah, the 250, not 250. I got you.
Well, no, I don't know, because inside we still have some of them that say 250th.
Yeah.
But
And we'll get rid of the 250 celebration, capital C. Got it.
So with that addition, that would cover swag, if we purchase swag and then sell it. I mean, that will cover purchasing it. Of course, we're going to sell it, and that'll be revenue that comes back in
To me, if we say supporting the
in the
planning,
process.
planning,
Execution.
organizing, and execution, that would be.
And the free popcorn, that's part of the execution. No, I'm just saying, because there's so many pieces.
Yeah.
You know,
And
so that's part of the execution.
I think that's why it's.
Of events related to, okay? And this is where when.
Oh, well, events and expenditures. I mean, that's.
To me, this is part of the event is interpreted broadly to include, we don't have to say, yes, it's going to include lights for the movie. You know what I mean? You don't have to list everything.
Okay.
You don't want to be,
Yeah.
because once you start listing, you start saying,
You've missed something.
you've omitted
Right,
something.
Right.
So you want to leave it broad. And that's the other thing, to his point, that's the other piece of his comment is somebody says, I want to write a check that specifically supports the parade.
Yeah.
No, it just all goes into this.
It's all one, but then how does that impact our sponsorship opportunities?
That's fine. You can still do sponsorship opportunities. This is sort of a dirty little secret, I guess, the way the world works in event planning. If we put on an event and we get a $10,000 sponsor for festival, and the festival costs us $5,000, they gave us that 10 so that their name is the lead sponsor. Some of that money may go to other purposes, but they got what they paid for. So if somebody says, we're going to be the sponsor for the movie, for the 1776 sing-along.
As long as they understand that the
Here's
broad
$2,500, they know that it's, this is a sponsorship.
Okay.
The event itself may not, because then you've got administrative time and other things that are part of it. So you can pull in that money, and if somebody is doing naming rights, that's an organizational activity, not a fiscal activity.
And we would need to put this purpose in our fundraising.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's get it again. Francois, can we write it down verbatim? Because I don't trust myself.
Okay.
We'll do it slowly.
Okay.
Okay, so our purpose will be, quote, for the purpose of planning,
Supporting me.
for the purpose of supporting the planning, organizing, and execution of events and activities related to the town's 250 capital C celebration.
And the reason I say support it is because there will be funds that come from other sources. There will be public funds potentially, and you don't want it to be that it seems as though the entirety should be paid for by these donations.
Okay, can you read it back to us finally? I just want to make sure we get it right.
For the purpose of supporting the planning, organizing, execution of the events and activities related to the Town of Exeter or town's 250th celebration.
250 celebration.
250 celebration, capital C.
Well, we want the minutes to be the exact word.
Yeah, let's
because
get it.
Right.
And you should read
I'm gonna take
along
this.
with,
Yeah.
I have it written here.
because we're gonna approve it. So could you read it one more time, please?
Supporting the planning
Well, for the purpose of, yeah, we should start with quotes.
Right.
However,
Quote, for the purpose of. Because this is going to go in all of our literature.
for the purpose of supporting the planning, organizing,
Organizing.
and
what do you write?
execution.
Did you write organizing or organization?
I put org.
I'm sorry? Oh, just ORG? That's shorthand.
She did sure. That's how I wrote.
So, yeah,
For the purpose of planning, the organizing and execution of the events and activities related to the town's 250 celebration.
Yeah, supporting, I don't know that you need to say the events.
Supporting events.
For the purpose of supporting
events.
planning, organizing, and execution of events related to the Town of Exeter 250 celebration.
And once we see the minutes, we can tweak it and approve it as.
So I think that's the,
Yes. Do you feel like comfortable with that? Okay.
And I can send it to you too. You can.
Yeah, we'll put it in the minutes like we go back and forth like that too. All right, so with that said, do we have a motion to accept the proposed purpose?
So moved.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I'm actually gonna hold this until I speak that way, because we'll cross clarify with each other.
I can try to get a copy of that too. You can send me a copy.
If I can make a, yes,
Okay,
yes. Okay, next, well, we were gonna talk about the budget and the timeline of events, so neither of which we can really do with until we start working on the budget again, but I would say over the next couple of weeks, I will work with Melissa Roy and Caroline again to come up with the budget that we've got. And I think one of the things that was really important that we talked about, which I thought was great, was that much of the money that was in the original budget is already in budgets elsewhere. So and the other piece of it is all the events are lined up on that budget as well. And I think the goal is to get our budget and our timeline completed, which then gives us the tools to go out to the community. Does that make sense to folks?
Yeah, because we need to do it kind of ASAP, so.
Yeah, and Melissa's not here.
Melissa's not in yet.
Okay.
Well, the important thing we have to do is the budget, not the other stuff.
Right, it's the budget. It's getting the
But of
budget.
course, the budget's tied into what we're planning to do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, half of us aren't here. Anyway, let's keep going.
For the minute's sake, one thing in general is we need to reconsider the fireworks. Because the price that we were given was based on having it on the 4th of July. Or a busy time of year for
The
fireworks.
4th of July itself.
So it can be less expensive if we do it at a different time of year.
well, you're talking about
transfer the?
I thought we had agreed not to do it on.
I know, but that's the price that's here is based on if we did it on the 4th.
So you're saying that if you were, in addition to the ones on the 11th, the ones in December that you're talking about would be cheaper than the ones in July?
New Year's Eve. It's a day that is not a special
Right,
fireworks day
so-
for the nation.
What we had said was weren't we doing the fireworks to align with the end of the festival?
Oh, we aren't. Other
Right.
people are paying for
Right.
fireworks July 11th,
Right.
the same day as the
That
festival.
we're gonna do it.
That's not in our budget.
Right, and it
It
should,
doesn't need to be.
It doesn't need to be.
And we don't have any 4th of July
Well,
fireworks.
no, that's Parks and Rec.
No, I'm
It's
just
only
telling you
Halloween.
that the price that was given to us is based on if we do it on one of the holidays, like the 4th of July.
Is the 11th cheaper than the 4th?
Yeah, and that's what we'll stick with. I don't think we were ever planning on doing the 4th.
We have,
But
No, I'm not saying we
Just
were planning
revisit
to
the
do it on the
price.
4th. It's just a different price.
Right.
Yeah,
That-
Kelly was addressing the price that we
Got it.
quoted.
Okay.
Well, I haven't seen a quoted price. What I have in my notes, whatever date, maybe June 2. No, September 2 was December 31 fireworks, $10,000.
Yeah.
And you're right, December 31 is could be
National
20,000.
Fireworks Day.
That's right, so, but that's what I wrote.
No,
is-
that's
is-
why it says 10,000 is because
Can I
it's
look at
less
your budget for a
on,
second?
well, this is an.
so you're saying December, the 10,000 is a December 31, July 4 number?
Yeah.
And July 11 should be less than 10,000.
Yes,
And July 11 is covered through Park and Rec
It's
anyway.
not in our budget anyway.
right.
Right. So
And
that's-
so the question comes up, do we want to do fireworks at some other point in the year?
Well,
Instead of December 31st?
Yeah.
Yeah, because December 31, it's like, yeah. So I did, it just crossed my mind, maybe on the day of the holiday parade. Isn't the holiday parade like 5 o'clock at night? So that night, we could say, end the parade on Swayze Parkway and have the fireworks.
But isn't-
When they did the fire
But isn't that July 11?
No.
The Christmas.
The Christmas
Holiday
parade.
parade.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I don't know what I said.
December
I
9th
meant
or whatever it
the
is.
Oh, the
Christmas.
It's
Oh.
July when it starts anyway, so.
Yeah,
Oh, that's an
You could
interesting
have them during
idea.
the parade.
yeah.
But I mean, I don't know why we
A
picked
few
December
years back,
31.
we had
We did it
a
to round out the
fire,
year.
there was a fire bonfire down at the parkway after the parade.
Yeah, it's
So-
a couple of years.
Yeah, remember?
Everybody brings their tax application, that's all.
For the December parade?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Really?
remember,
A
yeah,
bonfire?
yeah.
I don't
was.
remember a bonfire.
Yeah.
But I
It
don't
wasn't
go to
well advertised, I don't think,
the
so.
parade very often.
Yeah.
I know the one in Kingston, they had all the railroad ties and they put a car on top of it.
That's
Kingston's
interesting.
Fair Days in August. That's outlawed now, but it was pretty fun.
They still do it. They just
Oh my.
don't do it on the,
That seems rather
On
intense.
the green.
In
Yeah.
Kensington, everybody brings their Christmas trees to the school and puts them in the, have a huge bonfire.
that's a good.
That's fun.
It's great, 'cause it
Anyway.
lasts about 11 seconds.
What day?
It's
after
after
Christmas.
Christmas.
Huh.
It's like the week between Christmas and New Year's, the kids are all off and everything, and we just do it and have a big pile of really, it reminds you not to put open candles.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so what do folks think about this?
I'd have to say that out of all of the events that we have planned, if there's one that I'd be willing to drop for budgetary reasons, it is the December 31st fireworks.
I agree.
I agree.
Even after the holiday parade,
I
I
agree.
don't think we need to.
I think that's a
I mean,
budget
tied with
saver.
us. I don't think.
Yeah, I think maybe the idea of a bonfire could be fun instead. Could we do that on December 31st?
You might
Well,
check-
we don't have to. We can tell the parade people to do it.
No, I think
We
you
have
just,
enough to do.
or yeah, I mean, I guess, anyway. So, yeah, I think we
I
can,
think it would be Parks and Rec.
I think it's outside the purview of the committee.
Yeah.
Because it would be in that
For,
space.
for after the holiday parade. Yeah, that's a separate organization.
Okay, that does,
That we can coordinate with, but they will want money.
okay.
I've been in that parade, and I'm telling you, by the time you're
You're
done.
not standing around.
So,
If you're best,
so
you're
frankly, if
cold.
we're talking budget today as opposed to event planning,
Well, they're the same,
well, yes, but
but I get you.
I think we've already said that in terms of saving money, this is, I mean, it would be fun, but it's a place where it can go away. And I would entertain a motion to remove the year-end fireworks from, and maybe come up with some other event which we can organize later on, or in collaboration with others, but that's a lot of money and,
Did Barbara make the motion?
I didn't, but I will. I make a motion that we remove the December 31st fireworks from our planning.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Sorry, Julie. I know you like the idea of it, but
I want them sometime during the year.
yeah, well, yeah.
January 4th.
July 11th.
That's when we declared it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we've been working on
Budget won't-
January 5th for the draft of the Constitution, and so.
That might be a good night to do it.
That would be coming right up.
I was just gonna
That
say,
is 3 months away.
Not far off. Working on it as we
It would
speak.
be an interesting way to kick off.
It would be, but we
Good
don't,
Yeah.
we don't pass the budget till March. So.
Yeah.
That's
Excuse me,
one of the
is Catherine with a K
discretionary
or a
things
C?
that probably wouldn't get spent.
Thank you.
But that's an interesting thing, maybe for January 4th, maybe we, again, not a high ticket item, but maybe there's something we can do that would help kick off.
Well, that's what we're talking about. We're working right now, talking with the town and the state around having the actual document here in town where it was drafted in the town hall, and we do an event where we have a historian who comes and a scholar who actually works, who's an expert on this topic that our board chair, Mark Howard, knows. And we would actually be able to do sort of a 20 to 30 minute presentation on the original New Hampshire draft constitution from 1776 and invite dignitaries, have the actual document on display, and something along those lines.
So that's for the 5th, January 5th?
Yeah, because I think that's when it was.
5th is Monday.
5th is a Monday. We have a program in the Historical Society at the
Right.
Town Hall on the 6th.
Redcoats and Rebels.
Redcoats and Rebels. Doesn't have anything at all to do with the New Hampshire, I used to call it the Declaration of Independence. I'm surprised that they're calling it a
They
constitution.
call it a draft.
We'll call it a constitution.
Yeah, I know, right?
Did you say draft constitution?
They call it
Yeah.
the draft constitution.
So, I always thought it was the 4th, but we can
I think it's either the
easily
4th or the
find
5th.
that out.
It's either the 4th or the 5th. I have to go back and
The
look.
4th would be a Sunday, so.
Right.
It's also the end of the Moby Dick Marathon, so I will be wasted.
What is the Moby Dick Marathon? I'm sorry, I have to ask for clarification on that.
You don't need to know. We read the entire Moby Dick out loud in New Bedford.
Oh my goodness.
So
Oh, how
cool.
wonderful.
Do you have different readers doing it for?
Yes, everybody gets 5 minutes.
And is it done in all one shot? Is it
Yes,
literally
it starts at
Little
noon on
marathon.
Saturday and it goes till 1 o'clock on Sunday.
all night long?
I don't stay up all night.
Holy
Put it in your calendar and go down.
Moby Dick, Batman.
Well, I wonder if the school is going to
Quake's not
be
the only one
off
often.
from the 24th, because
They'll be coming back to school on the 5th. I would imagine.
well, that's what I'm wondering, because Christmas is Thursday and New Year's Day is Thursday.
They come back
so
Tuesday, which
It's
is
like 10 days. They come back on the 6th.
Well,
Nobody's going to be in town if they're going to skiing and on the fourth Sunday and the
When
5th
is the
Monday.
1st? What day is the
Thursday.
1st? Then they might come back on Friday.
They can't come back on the 6th.
Okay, so
We
They
can find
might.
that out.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
yeah, no, it's all good. We are trying to schedule the event for the actual day because I think it's the 5th.
Look at this
Is what the day of the document. Basically, the royal governor and his council fled, and the local folks said we need to have some kind of government. We need to have judges and lawmakers and stuff. The whole tone of it is very apologetic. It's great.
We did a history minute on it, so if you want to watch it, go right in.
Yeah, go and check it out. It's a lot of fun. So we have a replica of it in our,
January 5th.
It is January 5th?
and it's the top of it says at Exeter in Congress assembled or something. To that
Yes, you
effect.
have it right here.
Yeah. So
And they come back to school on the
And you,
5th.
They come back to
oh,
school
that's
on the 5th.
perfect then.
yeah. So and my thought would be you try to get like the delegation here, the governor, those kinds of folks down here, and you do like a champagne toast or something to acknowledge the event. And that's your kickoff for the 250
I
along
think
with
that's
That'd be
great.
your
great.
program.
Yeah.
Does everyone like that?
But we don't have any budget for it.
Don't worry about it.
Well, it's part of the 5,000 we have already.
Yeah, but I don't think,
Perhaps.
No,
I think
this
this
is
is
our
gonna be
event.
hosted by the American
This is one of those
So we're
events
going to add
you just
that to the
brand it.
calendar?
Yes,
You brand it and we do it.
yeah.
So when the
I'll get other
exact
sponsors.
Yeah.
text of what that is.
And so then that kicks off the 250.
It should.
250.
Which is what it
It should.
It should, that's
be the first thing.
great.
That's the correct time.
Is that
Why are
fair?
we saying 250 versus 250?
Mr. Rain can explain that.
Okay,
Oh, the
Outside
national
the
is
meeting.
250,
okay.
America 250 or something.
Oh,
So we took off the TH to save
okay,
length too.
good. Okay.
We did it yet to be for concise.
Would you call it constitutional?
It's the Constitution draft, or the draft
Draft
Constitution, I should say.
Okay.
And that's gonna be in the evening, Joe?
It'll be in the evening, and the title of it is it's in Congress at Exeter, which is the
Awesome.
first line.
Perfect.
Do we need to take a vote that this is gonna be our launch event, or no? We just
Have we been voting on individual events?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, since you don't have to fund it, I don't think it's an issue. It's just
I think we just been voting on a general calendar.
All right, so that's gonna be
Now I just gotta
posted.
get Ashley to make sure we can have it.
Oh, actually, no.
Well, the document is doing some other things during the day up in Concord,
Okay,
at the archives at the State House, so it's gonna be tired, but it'll make the trip.
okay, and you said it'll be in the evening.
It will be in the evening at the town hall as a,
Have you reserved town hall yet?
I don't think there's a stampede for it, but I talked to Greg and he said do a permit, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we have it reserved for the night before, I mean, the night
The
afterwards.
night after, yeah. But it's not, this isn't the Festival of Trees we clean up, this is some chairs.
Right.
Well, and that's nice too, because then we can also, at this
It'll roll
event,
right in.
roll right into it and promote it, which is wonderful, the Redcoats and Rebels, right? Perfect, okay, that's wonderful, okay.
There's a very interesting show on right now, and I don't know what I would do in 1776. It's called Turn. It's on Maine Public TV, Sunday nights at 7. And
T-U-R-N?
it's really kind of
I've watched
scary.
Turn, T-U-R-N?
Yes, T-U-R-N, because it's the British soldiers are here.
Yeah, I watched
It's
it.
mostly in New Jersey, but Portsmouth, and am I gonna be a loyalist or and I'm gonna be dead?
It's
We
very
all think
good.
we know what we would do.
Well, that we do,
Yeah.
but it's like
It was-
really scary.
And it's Sundays
Women
at
too,
7?
The kids. Yeah, Sundays at
I'm
7.
writing this down, I think this is great.
7,
We actually
8.
have some of our field trips have a curricula that's based around that, around as a kid, like here's what you're faced with, like your parents are loyalists and they're well-to-do, like, we all think, look back and think we'd be the heroes, right? But like, there are a lot of pressures.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm glad, we're putting that out to the community as well, that these great resources, and frankly, these are the kinds of things that I'd like to see us get on our Facebook page.
Maybe also, I know Swayze School, only because I have some grandkids that go there, they do a whole event. I think it's the fourth graders, maybe it's the fifth graders, and they all dress up either as what. But it might be interesting to encourage all the, since it's the 250, to encourage or let all the elementary schools know to do something around that topic at school.
Well, it's now required for high school students to have, or high schools to have a Constitution Day.
Oh, really?
That's this week, isn't it?
Just high school.
They gotta hurry up. They gotta hurry up. Public schools.
Yeah.
Okay, so, got that, do we wanna move on, but we're not gonna have to go till 11 today, to move on to our committee member updates, any thoughts folks have?
Well, I thought we were talking budget.
No, I interrupted the, not.
Well, I don't know, I don't think we're done yet, and I think what we need to do is I need to get with Melissa and Caroline and move things out that are already funded, right? And then what we need to do is come up with a real number.
Did they give us a template?
They didn't, they were supposed to
Okay,
send it to me,
that-
they haven't.
Okay.
And therein lies the problem, is I don't have that template from the last meeting, they didn't send it to me. What I had suggested is the two of them were gonna work on it over the last 2 weeks. I know that they're both extraordinarily busy, and I respect that, and I know that they'll, circle back, but I didn't get the template, and I offered to be at that meeting to work on the budget. If any of you
Oh, yeah, I thought you were gonna have a meeting.
Right, and
Because our next meeting is October 7th.
right.
And Julie, when does the select board, or the budget committee, when do they need it?
They start meeting at the end of September, so the end of this month.
Okay, so I will.
Numbers aren't solid at that point.
Right, so I will follow up with Caroline and Melissa again to get this meeting set up so that we can at least have a solid template about what's gonna get moved out. Because the budget and what will happen, which I thought was a great thing that they did, is that they tied the calendar into the budget, right? Which was really nice, so that way it went line item by line item. So that's what we can do. So for example, we can add this Congress at Exeter on that as part of the budget, but it will be $0 because it's being hosted by AIM. So that way it gives us one document to look at everything we're doing and where the events are and who's covering those costs.
And we can have how many of our commission meet without constituting a meeting? So I'd be willing to go there when you meet with them. Is it 2 or 3 of us?
I don't know the answer to that.
How many are we? Don't include me.
I know that.
Right, something like that. We can't constitute a quorum or we're in trouble.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4,
I don't know
5.
how many of us were.
Is Caroline considered? No? So there's
So employees are not voting members.
so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's really just 5 of us. Oh, no, and Emily is 6. Emma's 6. So that's fine.
So it would, 4 would be a quorum.
So 2 of us can. All right, so John, you'd be
I'd
interested?
be willing to.
Okay, that would be great.
Free that day, yeah, I'd be happy to be there.
Yeah, no, I like the format that they developed because that way we're tracking both the budget and the
I think we
cash.
saw it last meeting.
We did
but I
see
didn't
it,
keep a copy.
but they didn't, it was just up on screen,
Okay.
okay? I think that the only other thing I'd like to, I should back up, is please help me finalize what determine what we decided the logo is going to be.
Just 2 meetings ago, we were up in the other room,
Yeah,
and we voted on it.
Yep.
And it was the,
is it any of these?
Dark circle.
had a dark circle, it wasn't, I don't remember the
These are all the
Minuteman
same.
being
I don't think
in
the
it.
Minuteman was there.
Okay,
I don't think
Joe
it's
was
any
gonna
of
come
these.
today.
he did come, but then he left.
I don't think the Minuteman was here. No, we took it.
These are all the same.
He said he could easily take that Minuteman.
We need to finalize this logo.
It was,
We did.
I think it was, this
Well,
without
right,
the
but then
Minuteman.
Emily
Was it
also
this
sent
without
us
the
the
Minuteman?
picture of the buttons and it was the blue background instead.
Gold.
And then we also added the 250 logo to the bottom of it, the America 250 logo. So maybe I need to circle back with Joe and Em and then send it, we'll just finalize it at our October 7th meeting, is that okay?
Well, we've already finalized.
I know, but the button it changed when Em designed, and Em and Joe just refined the
The button isn't our official logo.
Right.
I mean, our official logo is for branding on other things like flyers and such.
Okay.
The button can have a little bit of variation.
Okay.
I mean, that's a different design.
All right, but I will be honest, I don't have a copy of what we voted on as the final logo.
Not in front of us, no.
Did we, what were we using for it? You know who would probably know would be Caroline. She's probably got it. She had all of the logos and designs. So check with Caroline.
Okay, all right.
It was a couple of meetings ago, but I remember.
I
very
apologize, I just
specifically we
don't have
did
it.
take a vote.
Okay, all right, so I will,
Interesting.
I gotta get rid of those.
Giving those over to clients.
Okay, I will do that, since they,
Yeah. So I was looking at it.
are we good on that to move on then? Sorry, I don't have it in front
That's
of me.
okay.
Okay. Next, committee member updates.
One thing I would mention is this Thursday, the Exeter DAR is having an event, Constitution Day, at the museum. And we may want to, if we haven't already, loop in with the DAR around their events for next year so that those could potentially be part of the calendar if they're appropriate.
They're way ahead of us in planning things.
Yeah, Renee has a whole thing going, so you
That's
may want to, in part to flesh out the calendar that you have of things online, but also to drive some attention to the things
Yes.
that they're doing. I think they're an important partner for us to have.
I'll follow, that's a good point, I'll follow up with Renee and get her calendar of events.
Yeah, and they're very much willing to do a mutual
Yep, they want to be partners.
advertising, so.
Their event is at 1:30. General Stark, where?
Yes, at the museum.
From Hampton Falls. It looks really exciting. I have
Oh,
a
it should be
train
good.
committee meeting at 1 o'clock though.
We also have, in October, November, we have our Beer for History series. We are going to be doing that again, of course, next year, and be happy to, include that in the calendar.
Yeah, we should.
They'll be October, November, but that's fine. I mean, you want things to be happening during the course of the year.
Oh, for sure.
I just saw advertisement on a poll about the tavern, the Lit Fest is doing
Yeah, they're doing their Spooky Folsom. That's a Lit Fest exercise, October the 2nd, I think. Or
But
something.
this is going to be all for 26.
They'll do something. Yeah, they'll do something in 26.
So
We also may want to, I don't know if we've talked yet to the UFO Festival people, if they're planning to have a 250 spin on what they're doing.
Well, that's why.
We'll talk to Pam about that.
So
That's good.
that's why I want to step back, because that's exactly right. So there's going to be a lot, right, as we build this calendar. And so where I wanted to get to was kind of this larger conversation about our theme. Because to your point, the piggybacking will make life, we know what our defined events are, we're getting there, what our defined events are, the clam bake, all of that, right? But then what we want to do is be able to say to collaborating organizations, this is what we're doing, what would you like to do, how do we piggyback? And so one of the things that I think I mentioned at several meetings ago is I met with Exeter Fine Crafts, right, and also with Sarah Koff. Sarah Koff is a block printmaker here in town. She is going to do a commemorative poster, which is very separate from our logo. And I met with her this week, and it was great. Some really cool ideas about where we can go with this. And what we like to do is put it out to local artists, because what Exeter Fine Crafts does is every 2 years they do a fundraiser, I think I mentioned this, where artists will create a 6x6 painting. It goes on display at Exeter Fine Crafts, and they use it as their fundraiser for scholarships. But
that's the Seacoast Art Association.
no, but it's all of it. They do it together. I mean, it's like artists come in and the funds are used for scholarships. Yeah, I did too. But they do it every other year. So they were really excited and open to the idea of doing one on the off year, which would be next year around the 250. And Sarah, I don't know if you've seen her block print work, but it's absolutely spectacular. And for me, it was driven off the beautiful, what was the poster that was done it was the tricentennial poster with the, it had a
silhouette of the
right.
Exeter's 300.
Right, and so doing something for the 250 that is representative, but it can be of Exeter, I mean, celebrating, or however people want to define it. So and I'm kind of stumbling over myself, but where I'm going with this is creating the question.
I think we decided that back. Didn't we decide on something like a theme, Independence Lives Here?
Yeah.
We talked about it. We talked about it, but we didn't come up with something final. And the idea is leaving whatever the question is, we can decide on it. But the goal in talking with Sarah is to leave it open-ended enough so whoever is doing whatever can creatively define it in their own way. They can depict it in their own way. For example, Sarah's a naturalist. For her, whatever the question is may be reflected in something out of nature, right? For somebody else, it might be whatever. So to leave it open-ended enough that question can be noodled and creatively addressed, and people can answer it in their own way. And it's not just about art. I mean, maybe it's school kids doing a concert. Maybe it's poetry reading. Maybe it's essays. I don't know what it is, but what is that question? Because one of the things we were talking about is that then if schools, for example, Susan, know what that question is, then we're making life much easier for educators to say, this is the question, right?
The way we've been talking about things is, not just adding ourselves onto other events, but having a reason to, right? And so that's why I like where independence happens.
Or something right, yes.
That, or, democracy now and then, or something like that.
Yeah, whatever. So what I would like to propose is that literally our next meeting in October, we think about that and we dedicate a chunk of that time to really come up with that question. Am I making sense?
Yes, you are.
I mean, Sarah had a really good idea, like.
So we should have a whiteboard and we could brainstorm a bunch of ideas and
Yeah,
get through it for
I mean, Sarah had.
20 minutes, half an hour.
Exactly, and hopefully, we can, maybe by putting this out there now, we can ask people to,
Submit questions to our website.
yeah, but how do they, yeah. So I can talk to, but in any event, I mean, one of the ideas Sarah had was we could put out on our a Facebook page and ask 250 people for their thoughts. I don't know, that could open a big can of worms, but it also but that's why I'm hoping that collectively, since we are charged with this work, if we can really work on framing the question.
I think involving the schools is huge because
Yes,
though that's going to steer our parade and other events, but the Exeter schools used to do an old home day. I mean, it might be something that they could pick up and do 250, like then and now, like,
well, I think,
something to tie the
I think
schools
the
in.
theme or the question is the way we can engage the schools, the way we can, whether it's, or even say, for example, Festival of Trees. This is the theme. At least it gives everybody something to build their creativity around.
I was even thinking Pine Street Players, because they do their plays down here. Wouldn't it be so cool if they did a historical play,
But they need that hook. They need
They
that.
would need to have heads up, yeah.
They need that framework that I'm hoping we can. And again, what is it?
I would say that from a branding standpoint, because it's really what you're talking about is branding.
Yes.
We have adopted over at the museum the tagline at the bottom of signage, and it says, "Investing in independence, preserving democracy," is what the mission of the museum is. I really like the idea of pulling from the declaration itself, from what you're talking about. And if you want it construed broadly for something that can have an artistic interpretation and it can have a really deeply personal one, maybe it's just life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Because then you ask people to draw, paint, sing, draw, whatever it is, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
So it's not a question so much as it is a prompt.
You're gonna make me cry.
I mean, we do get some guidance, the statewide, the Revolutionary Summit I went to in May talked about focusing on what your community was doing on the eve of the revolution, and then where are the locations of things that occurred, where did things occur in Exeter. Unfortunately, we don't have the places that all the important stuff happened.
They move.
And more important is the past is present. Where did we go from independence then? How is that going forward? So that matches up with your theme as well. So the ideas that came out of the Declaration of Independence were interpreted quite differently in 1776. Let's just be generous, from the way they may be interpreted today. So it is an unfinished document, unfinished work, and we need to move forward with it. So that's kind of a theme that they're hoping that we're going to look at, from the state point of view.
To your point exactly, Barbara, like even the language in the simple state, life, liberty, and the pursuit of liberty doesn't mean freedom. They're very different. They're actually different concepts. They're different pieces of it. And when we talk about pursuit of happiness, we tend to focus on it meaning the happiness side of like, I get to be happy, I get to enjoy myself. It's like, no, pursuit meant how you spend your time. Like, in other words, we all came from where if your dad was a tinker, you were a tinker. But this meant, no, you aren't defined by the class that you're born into. You have maybe pursuit that gives you play, like you can be whatever you want to be with your life, is what they're saying. So, but
While you're growing up in.
when we look at what it meant then, we don't necessarily see those words the same way now. So it's sort of fascinating stuff around
Yeah,
that.
this is all too heavy for second graders.
It's too heavy for most people.
If we can,
But I think it's interpretable, like you just said.
And when
It
you
is
talk about the
interpretable,
parade, and it's like, if people are going to come wear their baseball uniform, they're going to come and ride their bike. Like, these are all things that are part of of what they enjoy about being American.
So I really like that, and if we did something like that and created the brand or the prompt around that, something like that, would it be worthwhile, beneficial to put in a historical context and then still like how we carry it forward today. Because I think that could be helpful to people as they're, what do you think about that?
Or make it more Exeter centric in the sense that, or something like
Keep it local.
Independence was born here and Independence was born and continues to thrive here, or
That's why I liked Where Democracy Happens.
yes, something like that. Yeah.
Well, so I would like to propose that we dedicate a chunk of time to our next meeting, and I think everyone is aware that this is, we're trying to come up with this prompt, this brand.
So we're coming up with a main theme and kind of a hook as,
We're combining them, like,
Yeah.
where democracy happens, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah. And so I'd like us to be able to have that back and forth dialogue,
Sure.
right? And so that way then people, the public can hear this conversation, and I think it's an important one, and how we're driving that and why.
Do we need a starfish facilitator?
No.
So when you talk about reaching out to the school, how do we, now you're retired from the school, right? And you've been on the school board and stuff. So there's no one person you
No.
talk to, or would
I'd
you
be
talk to like
happy
the
to-
assistant superintendent for all of the
Like
SAU?
liaison for-
Or are we talking just Exeter?
No, I would,
Oh, just Exeter schools, which might,
right, Chris Andreski is the superintendent, so I'd be
for
happy
the
to,
Exeter school?
for the
SAU.
SAU,
Well,
for the whole
that's
SAU.
six
Yeah.
schools or so. So we don't-
Exactly, yeah.
But Brentwood doesn't care what we say.
Well, I would disagree a little bit, because I think we want to make, I think we have to remember Exeter I don't remember the full list, but, Exeter included these
Map.
other
How many
towns,
times
right?
jumped from us?
Certainly Newfields, Kensington, Brentwood were all part of that.
Right, but I think including the entire SAU.
Sorry,
There's
just
something
had two
to-
conversations.
There's something to remember too, that there are certain grades that deal with this stuff in a curricular fashion based on the New Hampshire standards.
Used to be.
4th grade, 8th grade does US history that covers this period, and then maybe, so I talk about A-push, right? Like, maybe it's not as complicated as all the school kids, like as it is all the 4th graders, if that's and all the 8th graders. Like, those are the strata that we're talking
And
about.
fourth is just here in Exeter.
Yeah,
Right.
well, or we do, I would do KES and strata, I would do
I would
that,
do the
or at least
SAU.
make it available to them.
Exactly.
Oh, but
People-
Brentwood should have a 250 committee of its own.
Right?
Well, and maybe they
And
do.
they don't want us telling them what to do.
We're not telling
This is our
anybody.
theme.
No, we're not telling anybody, we're inviting.
I think what it is we say, here is what we're doing
What's
with
happening.
school kids,
Right.
and if you want it,
Yeah,
then
for sure.
maybe it's something, because honestly, and for Catherine on her second day, part of her portfolio is our field trip programs, which
You'll be
we have
busy.
relationships with a lot of the schools throughout the region. And it's those same classes, because those are the ones that come every year,
You
right?
need to, yeah. You need to.
So there may be a
Expand.
conduit that is more back channel and less top down, but actually dealing with the people that do this. So we may be able to, as we build and rebuild those relationships, that's something where we may be able to be a conduit
Yeah.
for talking with the
And
people
Susan,
involved
if
in
you
this
don't
one.
mind, this is right up your alley as
Oh,
well.
yeah, I don't mind at all.
Do you think you'll be able to talk to them before the October 6th meeting?
Sure,
And
Sure.
kind of
Well, don't
and
you-
let us know
But
what
do you think
what
we
they
should have
say
the
about.
theme?
No, I'm just to explore how.
The collaboration?
We're coming up with a theme and, collaboration,
Okay.
basically. And
Because I met with a few.
it would be kind of cool if all the 4th grade classes, one particular week focused on the Constitution. I don't know if January is the week, but because they're already,
Timing matters, yeah.
yeah, so it might have to be September next year or something.
They roll through the State House.
Springtime.
Well, spring is field trip season,
Yeah.
that's,
We get them all year.
But so these are the ways I think we can
We can gather
build the
facts, that'd be-
collaborative relationships by having this brand, having this theme, because it gives, I keep going back to Festival of Trees because that one's easy, or teachers, that gives them the hook to be able to, the launch pad to go to interpret it any way they want. And also, just I have to put this out there, and I, in a recent meeting, my recent meeting with Sarah Koff, is she brought up Rains Farm and how the town has just done an incredible job with Rains Farm and how we can and incorporate, like we were talking about having the art show at Rains Farm. And also she came up with the
Or
idea
at the Ward Barn?
at the barn, at Rains
Our
Farm.
barn?
Rains Farm Barn.
Yeah.
But also there's a gentleman I reached out to about getting little trees and remember I brought up last time the Liberty Tree Society where they wanted us to buy a tree and then plant this Liberty tree. Well, there's no reason we couldn't buy our own Liberty tree and plant it at Rains Farm and then give the opportunity for children, youth to come and maybe get seedlings and we plant them. So they're working with the Conservation Commission on
I
something
was
like
gonna
that.
say, the tree committee would really get into that, the
Right.
Liberty tree, and also, maybe they wanna do a talk on king trees.
Yeah, the tree, all right, the tree.
Mass
committee.
Street.
That's tree, right.
Well,
Well, and that's Bob Glowacki, as I remember, he really was into the Mass Tree Riot. Yeah. There's a tree committee, okay, I love it.
when I think about the 250 Commission, I'm almost overwhelmed by the activities that we're supposed to do these 2 weeks in June, July of next year. And when I think about collaborating with the schools, with AIM, with DAR, and including them all in our calendar, that's a lot of work. But if we have an intern, the intern can load all that into the calendar. But what crossed my mind just now was, once we come up with our, what's it called, the program or the mantra, Life, Liberty, or
The theme,
or
exactly.
the theme, I think this commission should send a letter to everybody we can think of, Rotary, Kiwanis,
Right.
Chamber of Commerce, everybody, and I don't know Masons, I don't know who all these people
Yes.
are. We should send an official
Boy
letter that
Scouts, Girl
says,
Scouts.
this is the
Yeah.
theme, we want your involvement, we invite you to participate,
To join us,
and put it on your agenda for your
Right.
next meeting and
Right.
think about it and let
that's
us
why there
know.
needs to be
But
this
if we
shared
don't send
calendar.
that until February, then it's
Correct.
too late,
Right.
so.
I agree.
Well, the shared calendar though, that's a lot of work, and you're gonna miss somebody, and then they'll get mad.
Well, they have to submit. I mean, they would have to
The state
submit.
has a calendar that the archives have just sent out that said, if we want to be listed, here's the thing to submit.
Yeah,
And
By,
yeah.
it
You have
just
to
came out for next year already. It's come
You
out
have to submit.
for,
but do they have a deadline for you to add things to them?
Yep.
I don't remember what list I did.
But I
as soon as
agree,
got it.
I think that, I think that we need to let our local
Yeah.
committees, organizations, all
Exeter
know about this,
Women's
because, everybody. And
If-
just everybody brainstorm.
And again,
All
it's
the-
just 1 year, it's not like you
Yeah.
guys are forever. No, I'm serious,
I
so
love-
this
I love
is
that
the
thought.
1 year. If we miss
No,
it,
I
we miss
agree.
it, and that's okay. We can talk about it for the celebration 250 years from now.
So once we come up with
Give
a
them
theme,
notes.
once we come up with a theme, we can draft a letter and then we can get it out to all the local organizations.
So by the end of October, we can do that.
Yes, and so what I would like to put out there is we'll come up with the theme on our October 7th meeting. And I would like to think one or two people hopefully will work together to draft a letter and to put together the list of organizations to get it out to everybody. Okay. Does that seem reasonable? Okay.
Should we all brainstorm organizations?
Yes.
I might think of someone that you might not
Yes.
think of.
Well, I don't know if there's a list, if somebody has a list of all of them.
Maybe
But-
10.
but-
I don't know.
But I'm also thinking, okay, we send them the letter October 1st, they put it on their agenda for November 15th. We're talking about January 1st. November 15th, they talk about it and say, yeah, we should do that. Let's think about what we're gonna do. And they don't know until March what they're gonna do for the UFO festival in September, which is kind of too late, although we can add it electronically.
We can add it anytime.
These are all like, we're not sponsoring these things.
Right,
So they
right.
can do what they
That's
want.
kind of what I wanted to get.
Yeah,
We started talking
exactly.
about how we engage and collaborate is, what do we bring of value to these organizations, and then what do they, why would they want to partner with us? And so some of it is to draw eyeballs or bodies to their events. So this is going to be the centralized place where people are going to come to find out what's going on. This is the hub that everybody's going to come to. And if you are not listed here, you're missing out on being an official part of
Right.
what we do.
Right.
So if it's the UFO Festival, if it's the powder keg, if whatever it might be, you want to make sure you're on this dance card because this is the official town,
Right.
sanctioned.
And to your point, people will submit a request and we can get it up on the calendar, but it's not up to us to chase. We're giving you the theme. This is an opportunity. We want to collaborate. We're celebrating the nation's 250.
Okay.
And if you're on board, great.
I think we do chase some because I think we want to
like
have as
DAR.
robust a calendar
Yes.
as possible. We
Yes.
want it to be that, you don't want open storefronts at the mall. So I think that the more stuff we can have on there, the better. So we start by saying, what are some of the existing temple events that are out there that we want to make sure that we gather appropriately?
But that's why this theme, I think, is going to be so important. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful.
Good. Does anyone have anything else they would like to add? I think we've actually done a really good job today. We've gotten a lot done. There's still some hanging stuff, but we have our action items.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. And then
Catherine, you
after,
have any observations?
and then after that, we do need to work on this. The sponsorship and stuff.
Yes.
But we need to get this before
Yep,
that.
yep.
Now you really are drinking from fire.
Are you still on the Charitable Foundation Board? So you have your
Meeting tomorrow.
annual meeting tomorrow?
Yeah.
Shooter's Pub?
Did you want to come?
What time?
8 a.m.?
It was early. I don't
I need a
know.
motion to adjourn.
Yes. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, adjourn.
Thank you for
On
tuning in
Wednesday?
to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.